What is up, basketball fans, and welcome back to Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, brought to you by J Bar M. J Bar M Barbecue is just a couple blocks away from Toyota Center. The best barbecue in Texas, not just Houston, best barbecue in Texas. J Bar M Barbecue, they're the best. Go check them out today if you're in the Houston area. Shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. I've been hammering the Zing Zang. We'll get into how much Zing Zang I consumed over the last 3 days, but it's a lot of Zing Zang. Shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. The ready to drink cans are my favorite. Throw a koozie on those puppies. They're just ready to drink. Can't get enough of them. Shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix, and shout out to Big City Wings, Houston's wing joint, Apollo's wing joint. You know Big City Wings. They're the best. So shout out to our sponsors. I'm your host, Stone Straightman, joined always by Sheldon Nord. How are we doing, bud?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Nice and tired. I was just telling you, we got a baby on the way. We're like a week away, and we have just been sprinting to get all the things done ahead of time. You can never be ready. People will, for anyone out there, if you haven't had kids yet, people, whenever that day comes, people will just be asking you, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? And you'll just be like, wow, how can I even know? This is kid number 2 for us. And I'm just like, I don't know if you can be ready, but we're just trying to be as ready as possible. So tired. That's my answer.
It's going to be first Zero Gravity baby born during this podcast.
That's right.
People forget.
Yeah, my poor firstborn son. He doesn't
Missed
get to claim
by
it.
Just a little bit. Not
yeah,
much.
That's right.
Just a little bit.
He's like a zero gravity stepchild.
A little bit. He was an adopted child.
Yeah,
he was born before. It's fine.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Yeah, but I'm tired for a completely different reason. I'm not bringing a child into this world just yet. And
well, in a manner of speaking.
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to be the godfather. Zero Gravity godfather. It'd be great. But yeah, this past week on Thursday, went down to Miami, Florida. My beloved Miami, Florida. Love that place. Got down there, went to a dinner, went to a family foundation event. Not just anyone's family foundation. It was Kyle Kuzma's family foundation event.
Whoa.
Found out a week ago that this was going on. Got connected with some people and basically barged my way into this event. 2-day event.
As you should.
It was a dinner and a silent auction and an auction for Kyle Kuzma's family foundation. So Kyle Kuzma, shout out to you and Alan and everybody else that was gracious enough to let me get in here for free for no reason at all whatsoever, just to show up and have some fun and intermingle with some NBA players and coaches and other celebrities and other people out there. So that was a blast. But Kyle Kuzma's family foundation is a foundation for single mothers in the Flint, Michigan area specifically, but they do work across the country as well for single mothers. So Kuzma's mom, single mother, when he was growing up in Flint, Michigan, her car would break down. They were getting eviction notices. All these kinds of things happen in their life. And then obviously Kuzma makes it out, gets to the NBA. He has all this money now. He's able to give back to the community and give back to a cause that means a lot to him and his mother. So his mother helps run the foundation. They're doing all these kinds of things. So his mother was telling a story about how her car broke down and she didn't have a car for a whole month. And she said it was like the deepest, darkest time of her life because she wasn't able to go to the grocery store. She wasn't able to drop her kids off at school. She wasn't able to get to work without a car. So that's one of her motions for this year in 2025. She wants to help fix single mothers' cars. And they got like 500 inquiries, I believe, in the first 4 or 5 days of putting that out there. And they fixed 4 cars immediately.
Wow.
Her goal was to do 4 cars a month. And she looked at Kyle at the event and said, sorry, bud, we're going to be spending a lot more money on that because we're going to do a lot more than 4 a month.
Man,
so
that's
they
awesome.
do all kinds of stuff. They do the eviction notices. They pay those off so the families are able to have the house and keep their family consistently in the same spot, and they don't have to move, and they pay for groceries and kids' clothes and shoes and school supplies and sports supplies and all that kind of stuff. So they do a lot of great work. So shout out to Kyle Kuzma and that family foundation event. They do a lot of great work. So go find the Kyle Kuzma Family Foundation, donate to it if you can. We're going to do a lot more work with them in the next year, I believe. I think we might be invited again next year. Maybe we'll be doing some filming. Maybe we'll do some other stuff for them. But awesome. Excited about it. The next day, however, that was the fun day. That was the party day, really. After the silent auction, they did a lot of cool stuff. They auctioned off a lot of awesome things, and it all went to charity, obviously. So credit to all those people that were donating then. I obviously didn't have the same kind of bankroll as a lot of people in there. Like Doc Rivers was there. Tim
No,
Hardaway Jr. was there.
don't lie. Don't lie.
No, I don't.
No,
I don't.
okay.
And
okay. Stone's holding
considering-
out on y'all. He's lying.
Considering all the people in the room, my family does not either.
No, I'm just trying to gas you up.
Yeah. I didn't feel too out of place, but I did at the same time. I was one of the shortest in the room, but it's fine. It was a great time, but they were auctioning off all kinds of like vacations and cool experiences, like courtside seats to the Bucks game and all kinds of other stuff. But the next day was a fun day. It was a golf tournament at Shell Bay in Miami. It's my dad is a member there, so that's kind of how I snuck in. But Shell Bay is a wonderful place. Shout out to the people at Shell Bay putting this on and working with Kuzma and all the sponsors that put on the whole sponsorships and Fanatics and everybody else that was involved with the event. It was awesome. But everybody was paired up in a foursome, and every foursome had either an NBA player, an NFL player, or who like a celebrity of some sort. Yeah. I got paired up with Alonzo Mourning and two other guys, so that was pretty cool. Got to play a whole round of golf with Alonzo Mourning. Had a blast. Drank a lot. It was hot in Miami. I was there from like 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. It was a beautiful day.
Whoa.
But
what was the temp? What was what are we talking?
It was 88, but the humidity was through the roof.
Yeah. What was the feels like? Did we check?
I didn't check because I didn't want to know. That would get in my head.
Yeah,
and then I'd be thinking about that all day. Not really any clouds in the sky. There wasn't really a breeze. It was a brutally hot day.
Just a hot, sunny, dank day.
Muggy as all get out. Like I was just pouring sweat the whole time. Had a blast. Played really well. Our group played really well. And there was a handicap involved. Obviously, everybody got some strokes here and there. I got a lot of strokes. I'm not that good at golf. I just started playing a couple years ago. That came into our advantage because it was a handicapped event, essentially. Like if you had a good handicap and you played really well, you were going to be in contention. Well, we finished, turned in our scorecards. We were the last one into the tent afterwards. And it came home with some hardware here.
Hey.
Got a trophy. Kyle Kuzma signed golf shoe by Puma. Pretty sick. The KKFF golf event. And got another thing in the trophy case as well. So shout out to Kyle Kuzma. Got to talk to him a little bit after the tournament as well. Got some pictures with them. It was a blast. They do a lot of good work. So tune into their family foundation. He does a lot of good things for single mothers across the country. But yeah, I got to rub shoulders with some ex-Mavericks players. Some NFL players were in there. It was a good time. It was a good time.
Rockets legend Courtney Lee.
Yeah, Courtney Lee and I shared a good laugh. Tim Hardaway Jr. and I dapped up at the dinner. Doc
Rockets
Rivers was
public
there.
enemy number one, Tim Hardaway Jr.
Doc Rivers was there. OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. played golf that day. And then right before we teed off, or right before we were going to our tees to tee off, two guys walked in. I was like, I know who they are. James Johnson, Obi Toppin. Ain't no stopping Obi Toppin. They walked in. They were playing in the tournament as well. So it was a blast. They did a great job with the event. Can't wait to go back next year and hopefully help out a little bit more than what we did this year because I just showed up and I didn't know what I was doing. So I was just kind of mingling around. But hopefully we can work it a little bit next year. Maybe we have a little Apollo tent going on at Shell Bay for the golf tournament, and it'd be a good time. Hopefully we can do that.
That'd be pretty sick.
But yeah, shout out to Jason and Pretzel Eyes. Shout out to Anthony and Spike Dade and their event, Geo Foundation. They do a lot of good work as well. So a lot of good people there. It was all for a good cause, and I had a good time as well. So that was my weekend. Man. That's why I'm tired.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Well, I didn't know that about Kuzma, his upbringing, which I don't know why I would have, but
yeah,
I also had no idea that he had that foundation. So that's pretty sick. That not being a single mother, but belonging to a single mother is part of my story before my family got bigger. But that's pretty cool. That's really meaningful. And I've worked with a lot of people who would really, really benefit from stuff like that. So it's cool to know that there's someone with a lot of resources giving a lot of their time and effort to making the world just a little bit better place. Love that.
Yeah. And you can kind of tell when you go to some of these foundation events. I've gone to a few over the last, 6-7 years now, since we really gotten involved in bigger foundations with my family and my dad's business and all that kind of stuff. But you can tell when someone's going to be genuine about it and when someone's just doing it because it's a tax write-off. And you could tell that it's very genuine with Kuzma and his mother, that they want do the best things that they can with the amount of money that he has made and raised over the time that he's been in the NBA and started this foundation. It was his second annual foundation event. So they're going to keep doing it. They're going to do it again next year in Miami. I'm excited to see how it continues to grow and see if we can get some more people there and get bigger and better for their foundation as well. And then have some fun along with it. And that was the cool thing, is that they were able to do all those good things, but still have some fun.
Yeah. I love the human element of that, how there are these guys all across the NBA who you never really hear what they're doing off the court. You just see them show up in their crazy outfits, and, they have different personas on the floor or different reputations, stuff like that. And you don't know anything really about what's going on in their life off the court, and what they like really live for and really represent. So it's cool to get to hear that and just kind of give like a human element to those guys. It's awesome.
Yeah, they're just tall dudes at the end of the day. I mean, Kuzma introduced himself right off the bat when I walked in there, and kind of walked up to him and Alan and introduced to Kyle, and he was very nice. He was mingling with everybody at the event.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
after the golf tournament, talked to him for a good 10 minutes about watches and basketball and all kinds of stuff. So it was a blast. Had a great time. But yeah.
You said, this is my Casio. It tells time in. It's got a stopwatch on it.
Sheldon,
I don't know if you know this, Kyle, but it's also waterproof. I haven't taken this sucker off in 3 years.
Well, I did ask Kyle. This is very funny. It's funny. Kuzma had an awesome watch on.
Was it the metallic Casio?
No, it was much more flashy than that. I didn't know what kind of watch it was. And as a watch nerd, I was like, I need to know what kind of watch that is. I was going to ask him at the dinner, couldn't get to him in time. So I asked him the next day at the golf tournament. He's like, "Oh, it is a great watch." He told me what brand it was. And he's like, the price point's really not that bad. It's a one of 20, I think is what he said. There's only 20 of those watches in the world. And I was like, yeah. I mean, that can't be cheap. Like, in my head is what I'm thinking. It's like a one of 20 is not. I have a one of 200 watch, and that one wasn't cheap. Like, I can't imagine what a one of 20 is. Like, it's $90,000. He's like, price point isn't that bad. And I was like, well, when you have $100 million contract, yeah, that's not that bad.
Price point's not that bad.
For him, not that bad. For me, really bad. Would not be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a beautiful watch.
That's nuts.
He's a big fashion and watch guy, and then obviously he loves golf. He's a member at Sheldon as well, so hopefully I get to play with him again outside of this setting, and it'll be cool. But yeah, shout out to the Kyle Kuzma Family Foundation. If you haven't already, just go check it out. See what all they do across the country, and especially in Flint, Michigan, where they've had trouble over the last, 10, 15 years with water and all that kind of stuff. So they're making sure they do leave the better community better than what they found it. So that's what they're trying to do, and they're trying to help people out across the country. So had a blast in Miami, but now I'm tired and I'm ready to go to sleep again. I took like a 3-hour nap yesterday when I got home.
Oh, heck yeah.
Sick. It was awesome.
Love that. I have a watch question. Which NBA player would it take to make, which NBA player would have to wear the Mickey Mouse Timex watch, with the arms as the hands, to make it cool and mainstream? Who would have to do it?
Russell Westbrook.
You think?
With the outfits and the choices that he wears, yeah, I think he could do it. He might get made fun of a little bit, but I think the other side of it is that it's cool.
That's what I was wondering, because I feel like his whole shtick is a little played out. And I don't feel like he kind of goes over the top anymore. But he's like maybe the OG, at least of the modern era, like fashion king in the NBA. Like, he was kind of one of the first guys that was as famous as he was, like really pushing the envelope.
Do you have another name? But
now I feel like we're kind of over it. We're looking at these younger guys. What'd you say?
Did you have another name in mind? Because another one was Tyrese Halliburton, but I was like, he gets picked on too much already. I don't think.
Yeah, he'd get picked on. I mean, could say Shea, big fashion guy.
I'd pick
Shea's up there. Well, you hate Shea, but most people don't. Actually, I guess he's gotten good enough now to where a lot of people are starting to hate him. Yeah, I feel like if Braun did it, people would roll their eyes.
But then the Braun stands would be like, yeah, that's my guy.
That's true. And he does play in LA.
Good work. Old Disneyland.
In LA.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For now.
It would have to be someone who you would like believe that they're nonchalant.
Yeah. I also heard
that much.
I heard at the Family Foundation event at the dinner that something big's brewing next week in the NBA news with a certain player potentially asking out. I'm not going to say who, I'm not going
Oh,
to say
good.
when, but it's supposed to be this week that it's going to be a public ask out of the team that he's at, and
Wow.
I'm very excited to see if that actually comes to fruition because I got a lot of really good news there, but I can't share it with everybody because
That's crazy. Jalen Brunson is going to ask out.
it's not Jalen Brunson. I can tell you that.
Could you imagine? He's like been given
That'd
the
be
keys
funny.
to New York City, and he's like, "I'm good.
Yeah, that'd be
I
fun.
miss Tibbs."
I miss
Oh,
Tibbs.
sorry. Speaking of Tibbs, I was listening to a pod that was talking about him a lot, and they kept
Uh-huh.
pronouncing the H at the beginning of
Thibs?
his name, Thibs. They kept saying
No.
Thibs, but it was so subtle. Like I don't.
Thibs?
It was one of those things that like I heard it the first time, and I was like, they didn't say that, and then
No,
they both
that
kept
happened.
saying it back and forth. Like, is that?
Huh.
Am I wrong? It's Thibodeau, right?
Yeah, I've never heard Thibodeau unless
Never.
someone's pronouncing it wrong.
Now, I will say I think both of these guys were coastal elites,
Okay.
not from the deep south like you are.
Sure.
And like the name Thibodeau would originate at least as an American. So maybe give them the benefit of the doubt, but I'm just like, come on.
I don't think I've heard anyone on like ESPN or any of the actual NBA shows. Like I don't think I've heard of anyone saying Thibodeau.
I've never heard it ever in my life, and
Yeah.
it bugged me so much. And it was one of those moments where I had like a real I'm so small moment where I wanted to like comment and correct this pod. And I was like, I'm a fly. Like I'm an ant. They do not care if I have a correction for the way they pronounce Thibodeau. And I was like, well, I guess I should find something else to be mad about.
I guess we could just look it up, right? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I don't even feel like we need to.
Yeah, I think it's Thibodeau. So whatever. Doesn't matter.
Maybe Tom Thibodeau is the Mickey Mouse watch guy at his new job, his next job.
Maybe it's the friends we made all along the way.
Maybe the real Mickey Mouse watch is the Tom Thibodeaus we made along the way.
Yep, there it is. NBA news. We can actually get into it now. Shocking news. Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard back to Portland on a 3-year deal. What, $42 million? Gets to go home back to Portland, where he was just trying to go rehab for the year, and the Bucks were like, "No, so we'll just buy you out instead." Egregious.
They're like, actually, let us pay you
so you can
be
go
there
back
longer.
home.
Let us pay you longer.
Yeah, so he gets to go back home and not play basketball next year because he did tear his Achilles in the playoffs. He'll be back for the following year and the year after that. They made this trade for Dame. They got Drew Holiday the first time and rerouted him to Boston. Got like Robert Williams and some other picks and some
Malcolm
stuff.
Brogdon.
And then
one other player maybe.
Yeah, they used some of those picks to get Drew Holiday back, I think, right? Or Anthony Simons was part of that. I think he was one of those things that they got. I don't know.
Yeah. Drew and Anthony Simons were a part of that same trade. I don't remember what the pick compensation was, but yeah, essentially they get Drew back. And I think one of the picks I think Toumani Camara was a pick that they got.
Oh, they used some
of
the
first Drew trade.
Denny Advia. Just doing my Trump impression, like Josh. But
that's right.
Yeah,
we miss you, sweet boy.
And they used some of that capital to get him, and then they got Drew back, and now they get Dame back. And I don't hate it, honestly. Like Dame gets to go back home and he gets to make a fuckload of money, and he gets to play where he wants to play ultimately. So if he doesn't win, he doesn't win. I don't think he cares anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that ship has sailed. When you have a major injury like that at that age, it's kind of like got to pick your battles. So, and he's 35. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. You wrote down Scoot implications. Probably none, but like for this year, there's probably none, right? Like he gets
there's none. He's not going to play. At least the Dame specific signing.
Right. That one's not going to hurt.
Doesn't affect Scoot at all.
You could throw Drew and Scoot out there at the same time.
For sure.
A little bit of defense and let Scoot just kind of run the offense. And he was getting a lot better last year. So
you're not asking them to do the same thing. So you could totally have both of them out there. I don't know if you'd want to, because they're trying to have a really strong defensive identity. And if Drew obviously taken a step back as a player altogether, but as a defender. And so if he's not defending at a high level, I don't really know the reason to have him out there over a guy that you're hoping will justify being the number 3 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and it's tough now that you've got Dame, Drew, and Scoot under contract. I don't know if Scoot's under contract for the next 3 years, but close to it. Like you've got all of them under contract for at least 2 years, and it's like,
yeah,
that's just your guard room now, and it's not great anymore. Like Dame, I don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back. Drew, we saw regression, like true regression this past year.
Yeah,
the injury question's always kind of there, and then Scoot's he got better at the last half of last season, and he could still progress and he could still be pretty good at the end of the day. But then it's like your guard room's kind of old and injury prone now with Scoot as your other guy. So I don't know about that, but whatever. It's Portland. Why does it matter?
Well, I think a lot of this comes down to young Hansen. And
people forget
the fact that he's going to be the next baby Jokic.
He's just going to be Bill Walton.
Oh, man. It would be amazing. Just Chinese Bill Walton.
What's the guy on Twitter that I just followed that you and Josh introduced to me to? The Portland
Oscar.
Fan. Oscar. Shout out to Oscar. Yeah. He had a hell of a day when Dame re-signed. He was put that jersey on immediately and started flexing on the haters.
Yeah. Good for him. I only follow Oscar because of Josh. So shout out Josh. Shout out Oscar. Mm-hmm. He has been posting pictures of all of his Blazers statement jerseys for July, and bro has some jerseys.
Dude, he's been repping young Hansen at the gym a lot, and then he started wearing the Dame jersey every day after he signed back. Like, what? Good for him. You know, he's having the summer of his life.
Yeah, that's what this is really about. We're just all about Oscar getting his shine, man. He gets Dame back, even if that means nothing for where the franchise is going. The hometown kid comes home. Mm-hmm. Well, sort of hometown, whatever.
Made hometown. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I think
for Oscar.
Yeah, going back to Scoot, I do think this is an opportunity to just be in the locker room with two like really, really good guards. Guys who have been really good in their careers and guys who have had really different careers where Dame, Weber State, and then kind of like took the league by storm, has been one of the best shooting guards, like guards that shoots in the NBA, has made some crazy big shots, has been a real team player, has like really tried to stick it out in a small market until he didn't, but that's fine. And then Drew kind of having like he's reinvented himself one or two times throughout his career. I remember at first he was in I think it was the Reebok commercials where they just got like all of the most athletic people they could find in each sport. Or maybe it was Adidas. I can't remember which one it was, but he was one of them. And it was just all about how fast he was. And then he just turned into like a defensive anchor as a point guard. And so I think it's a really cool opportunity for a guy with like this crazy pedigree who came in and was supposed to be, some people would say is like the next CP3 and stuff like that. But with like Russell Westbrook athleticism. And that's an insane thing to put on a young guy. Especially if you're saying he's got the Russ athleticism and he's going to be a master savant like CP3. But this is probably a really good opportunity for him. These are going to be the two like wisest basketball minds that he's gotten to play alongside, at least as far as I can think. Can't think of anyone else who I'd rather have that's been on the roster. Yeah. Certainly not Anthony Simons, no shade to him, but it's just very different careers.
Not the same.
And so, he, like you said, he was taking some steps in the right direction, like second half last year. Still needs to see like an efficiency boost, start to read the court and do all those things right, be a positive defender, stuff like that. But can't hurt to have these guys in the room with him.
Did you see Vengeance Wood tweet about this?
No.
So Vengeance Wood is one of my favorite follows. He's hilarious. Just a massive Christian Wood fan.
I thought he retired.
He did, and he came back after the Mavs drafted Cooper Flag, I believe, or right before, after the lottery, maybe. He did take a good hiatus there, but he came back, and so glad he's back. But Classy Dame fan on Twitter tweeted out Scoot getting mentored by Dame offensively and Drew defensively, and it was Jordan doing the shrug. Vengeance Wood quote tweeted and said, "I like how this assumes that mentorship allows you to absorb all of the skills of the mentor," and it went viral. It was very good.
That is good.
That's what I thought. I was like, if he picks up like one thing from each guy, like that's a huge boost for Scoot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't just get to be a really good defender because you played with Drew Holiday. You don't get to just be a really, really fucking good all-time three-point shooter because you played with Dame. Like that just doesn't.
That's right. Yeah.
You can probably improve on those two things just by playing with them, but that doesn't mean you're just going to be those guys. So I think it's a good thing for Scoot just because he's got those guys in the locker room. He can learn from them. He can help fix some of the deficiencies that he has and possibly become a really good player. Like if Scoot turns into like Lonzo Ball before all the injuries, that's a win.
Yeah.
It's a really good player.
Sure.
But
yeah.
Yeah.
I think something that's lost in that too is at least from maybe this is just from watching baseball, but I feel like most of the young guys that you hear about maybe turning their game around or picking up a lot of stuff year after year, they always talk about how they're asking a ton of questions.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talk about like having the mentor in the room and stuff like that, but it really depends on the young guy. Like they have to take some ownership and go and ask. And, it goes both ways. But I mean, if you're not like coachable and teachable, then it's not really going to matter. And I don't know what the case is for Scoot. I'm just going to assume he wants to learn and, wants to improve. But yeah, I feel like that's something that people tend to leave out, tend to blame the older guys for not making an impact when it certainly goes both ways.
I don't know if you watched the Slab Lab of Hunter Brown with Dallas Braden and Underdog.
No, but I saw some sound bites and I know some of the lore of how he got the sinker and stuff like that.
Yeah. He just is like, "Hey, Tuve, what would you do against me?" He's like, "Oh, I'm looking inside heater and I'm taking you left center field every time. Like I'm hitting a dunk off of you." And he's like, "Okay, so what do I do?" He's like, hammer away, hammer away, hammer away. And then he's like, "How do I get him inside?" And he's like, "I don't know, throw a sinker." He's like, "I don't throw a sinker or two seam." Like he's just like, "All right, I'll figure that out." And he started throwing it and it worked. So yeah, it depends on the young guy, but not a bad situation to be in if you're Scoot in Portland, I guess. Because if you get a really good Scoot jump out of this, then I think that was a win for trading for these two guys and paying a lot of money for them. So
yeah, and even if you just sell some more jerseys,
yeah, I mean that helps, right?
Yeah,
it's got to. Another point guard bought out.
That's right.
This made me chuckle because
this is the best.
I saw the tweet where it says Marcus Smart is potentially going to get bought out.
Yep.
It's like, okay, where the hell does he go? Because I don't think he played last year. Like, I don't remember him.
No, if he did, it was not very much.
Yeah, he's been hurt consistently for the last probably 2-3 years now. And that sucks. Not good for Marcus Smart. But
yeah,
where does he go? What team needs a point guard? What team needs a Marcus Smart in their life? I would say none. This is my first answer.
Okay.
And then it's just like, I don't know what he's going to bring to me. If he's not going to be able to stay on the court, what would I pay him money for?
Well,
and
sure.
I haven't seen that yet. And I don't know what the injuries are. So I don't know a lot of context. So that was my first thought.
Okay. Fair enough.
The second tweet comes out and it says Marcus Smart intends to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. Immediately laughed because I was like, what is Marcus Smart going to do? Like, you need another center, one. And
you need a center.
You need some centers on your team, not the ones that you have. And then you need perimeter wing defenders. And Marcus Smart, while big and won Defensive Player of the Year when he probably shouldn't have, and is probably not the same player anymore, is now on your team and is neither of those things. So I get you want a point guard to help alleviate Luka and LeBron, I guess, to help the ball get past half court, but I don't get it.
I don't know, but he's not even that kind
of.
He's
not that.
Like, he can do that, sure, but
not well.
I mean, yeah, like, fine, good enough, I guess. But between Luka, Braun, I guess whether or not Braun will be there, I'm assuming he is. I think some of the backtracking is because they figured out the market wasn't what they thought it would be, and they were like, all right, let's just stand pat for now. But between those two and then Reeves, and then, hey, Bronny looked kind of good in Summer League.
Bronny jump, year 2.
Bronny.
Best 55th pick of all time.
If a Bronny jump is just that he becomes a rotation player, that's a win, I feel like.
That's a huge win.
For a second round pick.
The 55th pick, yeah.
Yeah, that's solid. And then, you know, they've got the whole Gabe Vincent thing going on, if he's ever able to be on the court. So it just feels like, yeah, like you said, like redundant. It doesn't really feel a need that they really have. And you're kind of taking a gamble that he is going to be remotely close to what he was at his peak, which was right before he got hurt and started missing a ton of time.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's weird. It's random. Good for him, I guess. Gets to go hang out in LA and get paid, and probably play a lot of meaningful games.
I think he signed the same deal that D'Angelo Russell did with the Mavericks. And I was like, yeah, I'd much rather have D'Angelo Russell. I know he's going to play games.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the only reason. Well,
yeah,
and I know he can shoot.
That offensive shooting is there a little bit with D'Angelo Russell. At least every other night,
for better or worse, he will contribute to the offense.
Every other night, if I get 41 good games out of D'Angelo Russell, that's all I really need, because Kyrie will come back pretty soon after that. So, it was an interesting signing. Also, on the LeBron front, I got some good word that Dallas was working on a trade with him last week. I do believe that's done. I believe that's over.
Done. You're saying done as in it's not.
Yeah. Due to what I said earlier of the next player that's going to ask out.
Yeah. If there's a big player coming up that's going to ask out, that's going to kind of reshake everything, and I think revitalize stuff, because I wouldn't be surprised if, depending on the player, if people go for this guy and whoever misses out, they might still have, either they'll be burnt out from trying, or they'll still be like, I need to do something. They'll be a little antsy and maybe go after a run. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll wait and see on that one. Last thing before we go, the WNBA All Star Game.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it. I did go to bed really, really early last night. Post Miami, I took a 3-hour nap, ate dinner, and went right back to sleep, basically. So
sick.
Yeah, it was amazing. Honestly, I felt great for the first half of the day, and then I mowed the grass, and I'm tired again. So it's hot outside today. Lost a lot of sweat, but the WNBA players, the girls went out there and they said, "Pay us what we deserve." On the shirts.
We had shirts.
Yeah, the shirts, for a different reason than what the NBA did earlier in like the 2010s with the Donald Sterling stuff. But I agree with them, because WNBA franchises are not cheap anymore. This is looking like mid 2000s type of MLB franchise prices now to buy in for an expansion team. So that means that the actual franchises that are there are probably going to be close to $500 million, I believe. So, they probably should get paid more than what they're getting paid right now. I understand that the revenue is not as high right now because the TV deal doesn't kick in until next season, when it jumps from what are they at, $50 million a year to $250 million a year. Like, it's going to jump significantly. So
huge jump.
And they're flying charter jets now to games. They're not flying on commercial planes. They're getting perks now that they haven't gotten in the past. So it is improving. However, the salaries haven't really changed all that much over the last few years, and they're looking to change that. And off the court earnings are not what your players' salaries are. So like Caitlin Clark obviously has the Nike deal and all these other deals. Like, she's making a good amount of money off of the court, not necessarily on the court. So, and that's just one player. Obviously, she's the most famous player in the world right now, I would assume, WNBA wise. And
I mean, she's I know what you're saying, but she's not just one player. No matter how much people are trying to stuff it down, they're upset that she's now different. This supernova. Well, I guess supernovas are dying. Whatever she is,
science
superstar. Yeah. She's exploded, and whoever, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't care who you tune in for to watch. The fact is, a ton of people want to watch Caitlin Clark. It's
Yeah,
just true. Yeah.
the Dallas Wings, they moved both games against the Indiana Fever to American Airlines Center.
Yeah.
And the first one, Caitlin Clark didn't even play because of the injury. And they
And
moved
people were
they already
devastated.
went ahead and moved the next one to American Airlines Center, and they're gonna go again.
Yeah. Yeah. There's lots of exciting young players. There's lots of exciting older players that are
Mhm.
so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of great energy. I think the shirts are great. I'm totally fine with something like that. I do think now I don't understand a lot of this money stuff,
Yeah.
but from what I understand, the WNBA has like historically operated at a financial loss.
Yes.
And I think that's that's it being a relatively, I mean, I guess it's been around for a while now, but a relatively new business in a world that is hyper saturated with other sports leagues. And so they're like trying to play catch up, you know?
Yeah, and think about the NBA. Like 30 years into them, like they just got Bird, they just got Magic. They were tape
Yeah,
delaying
they were
games.
dying.
Like they were a dead league, and
Yeah,
Bird and Magic come in and revitalize it, and then money starts coming into play, and then TV deals come into play, and all of a sudden the player salaries catch up, and eventually they're all making $1 bajillion for not
yeah,
good players as well. So like we're going to get to that point for the WNBA. I don't know if it'll
right.
be $100 million contracts or $200 million or $300 million contracts, but
Yeah, we'll
if they
see.
once that TV deal jumps, because right now you put down here that they're making around 9.3% of the league's total revenue, and the NBA is making 49 to 51% of the revenue.
Yeah,
However, like the revenues are drastically different in between the two leagues, and the WNBA
sure.
is actually owned by the NBA, I believe.
Right.
So the
Yeah.
NBA is affording this loss because they're trying to grow the game, not necessarily just like make money
Yeah.
on the WNBA side right now, which I think is huge because they want to
Yeah.
grow it and they want to make sure that the girls have a place to go watch people that are girls that play like them, you know? And it's like we grew up
And the
getting to watch the
fellas.
NBA. Yeah, and the fellas get to watch it as well. So they're doing what they can to grow it to the point where they feel comfortable with it. And then once this new TV deal kicks in, I think it's going to be completely different. And once the CBA and all that kind of stuff, like Angel Reese is saying, yeah, I'm sitting out if they're not going to pay us what we deserve. And I'm like, yeah, there might be a lockout, but I think the WNBA and the commissioner, when she was on the Bill Simmons podcast, she seems very smart and in tune with what the players want because she's the one that
Mhm.
said, hey, we need to charter jets. We can't do this. We can't fly commercial anymore for this. We need to just figure out that cost. Doesn't matter what it is. Just do it. So I don't think they're going to have any problem in the CBA and making sure that the salaries are jumping significantly like year
Yeah.
after year, whereas the NBA is like it's the salary cap's jumping 10% every year for the next 5-6 years already. I think we're going to kind of see that with the WNBA as well, which is going to be sick.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's a fun league right now. I can't wait for it to have more teams. I don't watch it a ton. I'm very much a casual fan, but I told myself this year would be the year that I really tune in. Was trying to pick a team. I think I landed on one, but like I said, I have a kid coming and I have a lot of stuff to do. So I didn't watch the All Star game either. I just kind of followed these things on socials. But it's an exciting league, man. It's genuinely fun. The rivalries are genuinely fun. The beefs that people have are mostly fun, sometimes annoying, but also
Yeah.
that's just the way it goes.
Yeah. I've been kind of watching the WNBA very casually, like maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, but casually watching it because I went to Mississippi State and we went to the Final Four 2018, 2019, went to the championship
Yeah.
game both years. So started tuning in there because some of the Mississippi State girls were moving on to the WNBA. And I was like, yeah, I'll tune in to watch Tierra McCowan on the Dallas Wings. I'm all in on that.
There you go.
So I've been tuning in. I need to get really into it. Now I got Paige Beckers in town. I'll be able to watch more games. It's just been sad about basketball for several months, so it was hard to get back into it. And then I got Cooper Flag, so now I'm kind of back. So we're gradually
There you
getting
go.
back into the basketball realm.
Yeah, it's nice for you that you've got like a hometown team that
I mean,
you can
technically
pick.
you do too when you live here as well.
Yeah, but it's not like my it's not my
It's not your city.
hometown. It's not
It's
my
not your city.
hometown team. My heart belongs to the Comets
I know.
who don't exist and I didn't watch them when they did, but I wish I did.
Maybe next time.
Maybe one day. So I just got to pick. I got to be the kind of fan that the NBA version of the kind of WNBA fan I'm going to have to be. They get on my nerves all the time.
You just got to
Like when
stand someone.
you pop open their Twitter profile and it's like, I root for the Dolphins, the Mavs, and the Astros. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, pick a lane.
That's good. It's good. Angel Reese.
That was
directly
that
at me.
described.
Yeah.
I did not intend for it to, but I could not.
No, that works out. I understand why you did it. No, that checks out.
I know why you did it. Let me defend you for a second. I know it's because proximity is not your friend where you grew up.
No,
you had to pick a lot differently than some of us.
And I was only given one team by my family.
Yeah, there you go.
Got the Dolphins. Like I was stuck with them from birth. Like, and then I was up to my own devices as a child, just trying to figure out what teams I liked. So I messed around, but it's fine. It worked out for me.
I just couldn't think of any other teams. First one I thought of was
that checks out,
and I immediately said, I'm just gonna
that checks out. The last thing on the WNBA, Angel Reese has her first ever signature shoe with Reebok called the Me Bound.
Yeah,
on Rebound. And the whole marketing play was about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah,
so
which is like,
it's really good and it's really bad at the same time. I'm an anti-Angel Reese person because she played at LSU right off the bat. Like automatically don't like her because she played at LSU. As a Mississippi State fan and alum, not going to like an LSU person. That's just what it is. And the whole marketing thing's about Caitlin Clark. Either be the victim or be the villain. Please be the villain because it's way more fun when you're the villain.
She's a great
I enjoyed her so much more as a villain. And then she started playing the victim. I was like, this sucks. Like either be the villain, be the victim, choose one. Great marketing ploy. Just stick with that. If we're just going to run the villain route, this is awesome. If we're going to go right back and be in the victim in a couple weeks, no, I'm all out. I'm all out on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't really know what I think about it. Like on the individual level, yes, I agree with you publicity wise and media wise. I'd rather you just pick one. But I'm just thinking like she's what, 24, 23?
Yeah, she's also a human and like has feelings both ways. So I get it. It's just as a viewer and a fan, no.
And she, she gets a lot of crap for her percentages and stuff like that. But she's like legitimately awesome. Like she's really good. And lately she has been killing it. And so it's like really a perfect time for them to be launching the shoe. The Stan Wars are at like an all-time high. If anyone keeps track of Van Lathan over at The Ringer, you should go check out his Caitlin Clark hate tweets. I think he's an LSU guy. Yeah. So they're pretty funny. He is very committed to the bit.
And that's awesome for the game. Like the game needed rivalries.
Exactly.
Like, think about the NBA in the 80s. We just talked about it. Bird and Magic. The game needed a rivalry. You got LA versus the Celtics. That's been a rivalry for years before, but it didn't have the same lore until Bird and Magic showed up. You got that, and then the NBA just completely took off. And then now in the WNBA, we got Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. We just need their teams to be really good and end up meeting in the finals one day, or in the semifinal or in the conference finals. I don't know what I need to figure out the league stuff. I don't know East and West.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You need playoff matchups against each other.
Talking about the whole like these players hate each other, and that's how it was back in the old days. You probably hear guys on ESPN or maybe just old people that just complain that players in the NBA today don't hate each other anymore. Mm-hmm. They're like, they're all friends. They all ride on banana boats together. They vacation together, blah, blah, blah. They're too chummy. And I don't care about that because I know they want to kill each other on the court.
Right.
But I have a buddy who
Keith.
No, it's not Keith. different buddy. We'll just call him Keith for the sake. Yeah, no, I don't want to know what never mind. I have a buddy who his whole theory on the WNBA is like one of its biggest audiences were old dudes that just loved watching technically proficient sound basketball. And I was like, man, I don't know if that's the case actually.
I don't know, Jim.
This is like 10 years ago also. So before the league had really like exploded and taken off like it has now.
It's just Taurasi out there.
Yeah. But now we've got this angle of like these two players that hate each other doing so much for the publicity of the league. And I'm like, well, maybe he was wrong about the first thing, but maybe this is how they really get all the old heads on board.
It might work.
It might. They're like, oh, Caitlin Clark's only shooting like 30% from three, but somebody hates her.
the league hates her because they voted her the ninth best guard in the WNBA. And I'm just like, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah.
She's incredible. Yeah. I enjoyed that though. I was like, hate is back, baby. We're bringing it back.
It's very funny that that's what happened to her. And she, obviously her and Tyrese Halliburton are tight and they play in the same state, same city.
Yeah. Same city.
And like he got voted most overrated.
Yeah.
And here's this like generational talent just really cutting her teeth in the WNBA, who's already immediately one of the best players. And that's the kind of hate she gets.
And if the hate wasn't true enough from that list, look at last year's All Star Game, where it was the Olympic team, Team USA versus the All Stars, and they were guarding her like it was the gold medal match.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Full court. Like, well, you're not scoring. And she scored. She scored plenty in that game. And it's like so funny that they just hate her so much because she's that good.
Yeah.
Because like when LeBron came into the league, like they guarded him pretty good, but it was just like, yeah, it's another guy. He's 18. What are we gonna do? Like, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I get it.
I hate Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. I get it a little bit because, in their eye, like, Asia Wilson, like you said, Taurasi, like all these players are awesome and they've been in the league. Some of them are like, I don't know, like some people I saw the take that Asia Wilson is the best WNBA player of all time, or at least she will be by the time she retires. She's on that pace.
I have no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was a Aces fan for like 2 seasons when I was trying to pick a team. And then I wasn't paying enough attention and they got too good. So I was like, I feel like I can't commit to it now.
Fair.
Anyway, I could see why players like that would feel a certain type of way about
because they were already doing
player coming in. Because Caitlin Clark broke Kelsey Plum's all-time women's scoring record in college. Is that right?
There was another one. It was another player, an older one.
I thought she broke Kelsey Plum's NCAA women's record, and then she broke Pistol Pete's all-time record.
Maybe that's what it was. There was an older woman that played in the W back in the 90s, and she was pissed about it. She hates Caitlin Clark.
Okay, well, maybe it's her. Maybe I'm getting my people mixed up. But I'm just like, I could see how current players who have these like awesome resumes would be a little disturbed, not by her, but just by like the media representation. And
she didn't win a title. That was a big thing with all the UConn girls. They're like,
yeah, I don't
care
about
you went to fucking UConn, dude. It's like playing for the Celtics in the 50s and 60s. What are we talking about?
Yeah, you didn't win a title like my blue chip school with one of like the greatest basketball coaches of all time. Like, what are we even doing? She played at Iowa.
Like 45% of the seasons that he's coached, he's won the title. It's like, what are we talking about here?
She played at Iowa. Like,
right. Not a team that just goes to the Final Four, let alone the championship game.
Yeah. Anyway, I love that the sports hate is there. I think it works great. And I think it's awesome that Angel and her team are smart enough to take advantage of where it is in this moment to launch some shoes that are pretty sick. They look pretty cool.
I agree. They're good.
I think this might be a hot take. I think the WNBA signature shoes have been better across the board than the NBA signature shoes lately.
The Asias, the
Asias are so good. The Sabrina
are really good.
Yeah. The Sabrina ones are awesome. The next two are pretty good too, but the ones like Tari Eason, well, he's the only one I know for sure, but a bunch of guys were wearing the Sabrina ones for a while. And then now these. Pretty
Problem
cool.
is that they're Reebok. I'm not going to wear them.
Oh, see, I got a soft spot for Reeboks.
New Balance guy, a Cooper Flag guy.
I do love New Balance. I hate that they only have like 2 different types of basketball shoes.
Yeah, that's true. I don't wear basketball shoes anymore, so that helps.
Well, I don't either unless I want to play basketball.
I don't have the knees for it anymore. I think I tore both of them, so
I do have New Balance running shoes. They're amazing.
Yeah, they're great. I love the casuals ones. Yeah. Well, that's shoe talk. Shout out to W. They're killing it right now. I think they're gonna have some great success in the next couple seasons, especially when the media deal comes in. Yeah, overall fun week. Not a ton of news. Nothing's gonna really go on until maybe next week. If that news does drop this week, we will do an episode this week about it.
Nice.
I'll text with my sources and see what's going on later in the week and see if anything's actually going to happen or not. But have it on good word that it's going to happen. So I'm hoping that it does, because that'll jumpstart this podcast right back up, because it's a big one. It's a big one, boys.
It's a big one, boys.
People are saying. So shout out to the listeners. Shout out to the Kyle Kuzma Family Foundation for this past week. It was a blast. And shout out to our sponsors, J-Bar M. J-Bar M Barbecue is just a couple blocks away from Toyota Center. They got free parking, best barbecue in Texas. Great drinks and great people at J-Bar M Barbecue. Shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix, and Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Paul's Wing Joint. Thank you for sponsoring this episode, Sheldon. Thank you for joining me. And we'll be back very, very soon with another episode. Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast.
You're welcome. Bye.